Hostel Nimisha was out of breath and was feeling very uneasy. Her hair was disheveled. She stood in front of the mirror, looking at herself and trying to tie her hair back, but she was unable to do anything due to nervousness. That night, for the first time, Nimisha regretted her habit of staying up late. Nimisha was afraid that someone was still following her. This started when Manisha and Nimisha both studied in Class A in a boarding school and lived in the hostel. The boarding school where they studied was considered a very good school for studies, but the girls' hostel of that boarding school had a different story. 5 years ago, a simple and bright girl of 9th class died on the 5th floor of the girls' hostel of that boarding school. No one understood how the girl died. Teachers and parents said that the girl had neither depression nor any pressure of studies. Initially, everyone thought it was a murder, but the police never found any evidence, due to which the case was closed. But over the years, a rumor slowly began to spread that the girl's ghost now resided on the 5th floor. Therefore, the school authorities closed the 5th floor, opening it only once a week for cleaning. Nearly 5 years after the incident, Nimisha and Manisha began sharing a room in the hostel. Their routine was fixed. Nimisha would stay up all night studying and wake Manisha at 7 o'clock a.m. to go to sleep. Manisha would continue studying until breakfast time. Manisha wore glasses and always had a black thread tied around her hand, a gift from her mother. Like the other students, they too didn't believe much in the stories about the 5th floor, but they still didn't go there. On December 10th, something happened that Manisha was unaware of. Nimisha, as usual, was studying in a room at 12:30 a.m., while Manisha was sleeping on the other side. Nimisha's throat suddenly became dry, so she got up and went to the hall to make coffee. The entire hall was completely silent. Everyone was either in their rooms or asleep. There was no one in the hall. Only the humming sound of the coffee machine could be heard. But after switching off the machine, silence reigned. Nimish turned back with her coffee mug and was suddenly jolted, spilling her coffee. She saw Manisha standing behind her. Due to the darkness, Nimish could only see half of her face. Manisha looked different that night. She wasn't wearing her glasses, nor was she carrying the black thread. Nimish asked Manisha why she woke up so early, to which Manisha replied, "Why don't we both go to the 5th floor balcony?" Hearing this, Nisha's eyes widened, and a slight, mischievous smile appeared on her face. Before she could say anything, Manisha took her hand and began leading her up the stairs. As they climbed the stairs, the only sound she could hear was Nimish's slippers. She noticed that Manisha wasn't wearing slippers either. Something was very strange about that night. The door of the 5th floor of the hostel was open, and both of them went to the 5th floor and first started looking around. Then, after a few minutes, both of them found themselves in a room. It was the room of the same girl who had died 5 years ago, and about whom people said that her soul wanders on the 5th floor. But neither Nimisha nor Manisha knew about that room. The weather was very cold that night. Cold winds were coming from the windows made on the hallway of the 5th floor, and fog was gathering in the darkness of the night. Meanwhile, Nisha's eyes fell on the wall on which someone had written 10th December in big letters with their nails. Both of them stood on the balcony and started looking down. Manisha was roaming silently for a long time. Nimisha was feeling very cold, so she asked Manisha to come down. But Manisha paid no attention to Nimisha's words. She tried calling out to Manisha again, and then for the first time, Manisha looked into her eyes. Nimisha seemed to have lost her senses. Manisha's eyes had turned completely white. She said in a very low voice, "Jump." Manisha couldn't understand why Manisha was telling her to jump. Her face lost all color. As each second passed, Manisha's voice grew heavier. Looking into Nimisha's eyes, she began to repeatedly chant, "Jump, jump." Nimisha's face turned pale, and her hands and feet were stuck in the same position, as if she were being hypnotized. It seemed as if Manisha would push her down if she didn't jump. Nimisha's eyes began to close, and she began to untie her hair. Her scattered hair floated in the air like water. Nimisha was slowly coming under Manisha's control, but then suddenly there was a thud on the floor below, and Nimisha regained consciousness. Somehow he gathered courage and pushed Manisha back and ran downstairs. While running, she heard a terrible roar behind her, but did not look back even by mistake. She quickly entered her room and closed the door tightly. What she saw then shocked her even more. She saw that Manisha was sleeping comfortably on the bed, in the same position in which she had left her. Nimisha's complexion turned pale, and she woke Manish up in panic. Manish, seeing her pale face and red eyes, hugged the frightened Nimisha, but when asked, Nisha did not tell him anything. She was in no condition to tell anything. That night, Nimisha washed her face in front of her bathroom mirror and dyed her hair and went to sleep. Manisha was unable to understand anything. From that day on, Nisha started sleeping at night and started ignoring her roommate. Whenever Manisha sat in the room and started studying, she felt as if someone was staring at her, and it was often Nimisha. Worried, Manisha asked her again what had happened that night. Finally, Nimisha told Manish about that night. She told everything truthfully about Nisha. After hearing everything, Manisha's mind started working, and she completely believed Nisha's story because Manisha knew that 5 years ago, a girl had died on the same date, 10th December. That means all the stories and rumors that Manish and Nimisha had been hearing were true. In fact, there was a ghost of that girl on the 5th floor. Both of them stopped talking about the 5th floor after that day. But till date, they have not been able to forget that heart-wrenching story. If you liked this story, then do not forget to subscribe to our channel.